Welcome into KC Sports tonight. Neil's looking around.
Well, I was looking to see what color you're wearing. You're wearing purple, which at least is a local team color. Look what I'm wearing.
That's a local team color.
Guess who I covered today?
The KC Current.
KC Current. Does anybody look more currentized?
No, you got the teal and the red.
Unbelievable.
You are the Current's biggest fan today.
And this is the red that they wear, isn't it? Pretty close. It's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's just pure red, kind of like Chiefs.
Yep.
We like it. We're going to talk about KC Current Media Day later down the line.
We are?
Yes, we are. Because
Okay.
you were there. You got to tell us what happened, what you heard.
It was a media day.
Yeah.
These people came out and were interviewed by us. How's it feel?
Well, we'll get
felt
to
really
it.
good.
We're starting with the Chiefs because entering...
How is this news? Did you have any doubt that they were going to restructure his deal? They restructure his deal every year. That's not news.
Tell the people the stuff.
You have a dog. If your dog chases a cat, is that news? No, it's expected. If the cat chases the dog, then we have a story.
Well,
and what's your dog's name, by the way?
Lilo.
We're not supposed to. Oh, I was going to say don't answer because my wife said that I put our dog's names on the internet, and she said don't do that. And I said
Lilo's
why?
all over the internet. She has a Stitch blankie because of her name. So we're not afraid to say Lilo's name. She likes being in the limelight. She's an attention hog that way. But the numbers, the Chiefs have restructured Mahomes' deal. They enter the offseason $57 million over the cap. So one of the worst teams in the NFL about that this year. They have freed $43.56 million by basically just turning a lot of his salary cap into a signing bonus. So still going to get the money, but it's gone down from 78.2 in cap space this year for Mahomes to 34.65 million. Really, they only have about, if I'm doing my math correctly, 14 million over the cap more to go. Neil, how confident are you that next move would be Jawan Taylor? That would free up 20 million?
Yeah, that's an automatic. Now, that's a story because that's new, and they can't do it yet. But when they do it, they're going to do it as soon as they can.
Yeah.
My question to you is about some other people that I think, and I'm not saying I want them to be released. You have people after a bad season, these media people who somehow believe that they've been wronged. I cover this team and they're always good, and this guy's a bum because he hadn't played well. I'm not saying that, but I do have questions because I think that they've got some people on their depth chart that are, that could end up being let go. So I'm going to ask you: Are there any starters from this year? Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Are they going to hire? Are they going to re-sign him? Juju Smith-Schuster, absolutely.
Really, majority of the receiver, or at least half, I should say, of the receiver room is a.
So I haven't talked to you since the thing broke on Rashee Rice. Now his thing would not be a salary cap issue. What do you think about that? I mean, that to me is the story of the day for the Chiefs. There were people out at the soccer preview, at the KC Current thing, and we're outside in the beautiful sunny day in this beautiful stadium, CPKC Stadium. What are we doing? We're talking about the Chiefs because, I mean, you open the paper up and you're seeing this stuff. People around the country are asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't know the facts. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's some big issues, and I heard some things today from people who cover the team who said, I'm afraid they're done, that their window has closed. And I'm like,
Rashee
guys,
Rice, you mean?
On everybody, on the team. I don't think that they've got the players and the coaches to get it done. And I go, the coaches were pretty good up until this year, and so
the enemy being back as OC and the discipline that he brings, that he has the reputation of having. Like maybe it's a vote of confidence in getting some of that back into the offensive players, the receiver room. But I mean, I don't think they're done. I think it's a little early to just put the nail in the coffin before we see what happens this year.
And this was just people talking. This was and it wasn't. It was these are people who are educated people. They go out there almost as much as you and I do for those press conferences, and they hear what's said, and they've been covering this team in some cases for a long, long time, almost as long as me. And I look at Andy Reid, and he's been nothing but a winner. And this was the outlier. I don't think you judge people by an outlier, but he's at an age. He's 67 years old where people are looking for maybe the game has passed him by. I don't think so. I agree with him. Do you remember the press conference he gave on Zoom after the season was over, and they go, "Are you have to make a lot of changes?" And he said, "I think we have to make tweaks.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to make wholesale changes. We've been pretty good." And he said, statistically, before Patrick got hurt, our offense was up there in yards per play and in points, and we were in the top 10 in most categories. We weren't great. We weren't perfect, but we were pretty good. They had too many penalties. They were bad at penalties, but in a lot of ways, the offense was pretty good. And he said, "I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel. I think we have to tweak what we're doing, fix what's broken, and then move forward." And I tend to believe that he's right, that they are not that far off. They were in all those games. You covered them.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think this is a broken franchise. I don't think the dynasty is over. I think one bad year, recency bias is huge in the world.
It is.
You have one bad game, and it's, oh my God, Mahomes is washed.
And every team that wins, are they the greatest team ever?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look, they only lost.
Recency bias is everything, and I just think that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are a lot of fans who say the Chiefs run a tired formula, and they like to, reach out to the same people, have the same players, bring back coaches, do whatever. Bieniemy in Kansas City worked. They won Super Bowl rings with him, running the offense. I mean, obviously Andy Reid calls the plays, but you know what I mean. And then when Bieniemy leaves, the offense, not very good. You have to at least wonder if him coming back is going to fix those problems that they had this year, or at least a few of them.
I think he's the guy that can address some of the pre-snap problems, some of the penalties, because he's a guy who doesn't put up with that. And I'm told that I've been told from a number of people that he will embarrass anybody but his head coach in those meetings where the whole team's in there. He'll embarrass position coaches. Is that how we coach that? Is he supposed to be lined up in the backfield? I don't think that's the way we coach it, is it, Coach? No? Well, then you need to start lining up, and he'll embarrass players. And he doesn't care who it is. He and Mahomes very famously got into it in that game that the Chiefs lost against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, when they went for it instead of taking the points at the end of the first half. They went for it and did the one thing you couldn't do. They threw a ball that was completed inbounds, and Tyreek Hill, I think, could not get out of bounds, and the clock ran out. They had no more time at the 2 or 3 yard line. And Mahomes talked him into doing it. It's the one thing you couldn't do. We can throw an incompletion, or or we can throw a touchdown. What we can't do, the two things you can't do, throw an interception or throw it to a player inbounds behind the line of scrimmage who then doesn't score and he can't get out of bounds, and we're done. And they end up losing in overtime. And so there were some difference of opinion, and there were people who thought it's time for Bieniemy to move on and get someplace where he can call the plays and actually be a coordinator so that he can take the next step to being a head coach. So I don't know that that's the answer necessarily, but it might be one of the answers to stopping the penalties and stuff. But I've got people asking me about Drew Tranquill. And I'm like, he's an important piece on defense.
Yeah.
And they're like, they can't afford him. And this is a football person. This isn't fanboy. This is a football person saying they have got to cut. And they can get young players who are a lot cheaper, who can probably play to the level of guys they've got. And they probably need to trade Trent McDuffie. And that will hurt because he is so good.
And he's kind of their only good secondary player right now, it feels like.
But they've got to rid themselves of salary, and they want to pick up draft stock, and that's a guy that people will want, and you'll be able to pick up picks. Not going to be first round picks probably, but pick up picks, and then you can build from the draft. And they're like, look at all the guys who have been stars on these Super Bowl teams who were not stars in college and who were not highly thought of, and they drafted them on day 2 or day 3 of the NFL draft, and they end up being standout players. So the people I've talked to, some of them former players, their argument is They got to be smart, and smart is not necessarily popular with fans like me or fans like you, because we've seen these people and we know how good they are. We know the role they play in the offense and defense, and so you don't want them to leave. But they're saying, look, they're going to have to do some things like that. Some of these cuts are going to have to hurt probably, and that can be tough.
Yeah.
But the Mahomes thing, it makes perfect sense. Patrick Mahomes and quarterbacks around the NFL do that, so I'm not shocked. I will ask you this. What level – I'm going to say I'm 30% worried that the window is closed on the Chiefs for now. I'm not talking about on Patrick Mahomes because he's going to play quite a bit longer. But I am concerned that I'm about 30% worried that maybe the bloom is off and they aren't going to reach another Super Bowl in the next 3 or 4 years. How concerned are you?
If they don't go to the playoffs this year, then I'm like this coming year, then I'm very much on that train. Really, my concern right now is only like 10-15%. I think they just had a bad year. I mean, the Patriots had one too when Tom Brady eventually tore his ACL that year, and they missed the playoffs in the middle of their dynasty. I think to expect them to go to the playoffs.
Who blew his knee out, by the way?
Oh,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Opening day weekend. Clean play.
And
tore his leg off.
They came back and they won a Super Bowl the next year. So I'm not going to write him off just yet. But,
you like Tom Brady? If you say yes, we're not friends anymore.
As a person or a player?
Well, no, I mean as a player. I don't know.
I mean, as a player, you have to respect what he's done.
No, that's not what I said. I respect him, but do you like him?
Like, no.
Okay, neither do I. Then we can still be friends. Good.
I grew up in the Northeast during the Patriots dynasty. I don't really like the Patriots, which is why I didn't really care to see them win the Super Bowl this year. So, yeah.
I like their head coach now.
Oh, I like Meg Vrabel for sure. I would like 5 more years to go by before the Patriots win another Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, well, I don't think they got Tom Brady quarterbacking him now, from what I saw. That could be wrong though.
One day, he's young. We'll see.
I can't wait to see what you're going to say about college hoops tonight.
You wanted to talk about Mizzou.
Mizzou's big. The Mizzou's big.
You do know KU plays tonight as well, too.
At Oklahoma
State. Number
8
KU.
At Oklahoma State. And,
yes, but Mizzou does have a very big game against a good team in Vanderbilt tonight.
In Oklahoma State, they put drapes up. They call them drapes. They cordon off the upper deck of their arena because they can't sell the seats. And I think I read, and I was, it was one of the things you read when you're at a stoplight, so I didn't read the whole thing. I think that they did not have enough ticket demand to sell the upper deck seats, even though Bill Self coming home, even though Kansas looking like they might be the team to beat.
Do the Thunder play tonight?
I don't know the answer to that, but that's a huge factor down there. It just is.
I mean, Oklahoma State basketball is not good right now. So if you have the choice between them and watching OKC, you're picking OKC because they got just a way better team.
But they
don't play tonight.
The problem was that when OU and OSU were really, really good. I mean, Blake Griffin started at OU. OSU had Cade Cunningham, I think. They had an All-America. Neither team could draw. They were like going to a JUCO game because the NBA took over. The NBA was great. They had the triplets, Kevin Durant and James Harden and Russell Westbrook. And I told the radio stations that I do stuff with down there, don't ask me about the Thunder. I don't care about the Thunder. I'm not gonna care about the Thunder. If they get to the finals, I'll watch the games and I'll be happy for them. But I'm not a Thunder fan, and yet that's all they want to talk about down there.
Well, it's the more compelling team right now,
So what is the possibility? I'd say 1 in 20 chance that OSU, because OSU can score. They are really good offensively. You and I could play defense for them because they are so unathletic and so uninterested. I think Kansas just runs them, scores 1 million points, and wins by 20.
If you're defending the Jayhawks, who are you up against? You. Who's your matchup?
Well, if
down in the post with Flory?
If he doesn't play, I guard the all-star on the bench.
Darren Peterson?
Yeah, I'm on him. If he doesn't play, I'm over there. I'm just looking at him and watching him. He doesn't get open if I'm on him, if he's on the sideline.
1v1, Neil Jones and Darren Peterson. We'll see it at the Big 12 tournament.
Let me tell you something. I was shooting today, and I wanted to get up on this big rock, like a decorative rock, to shoot over this fence to get a shot of the construction site outside CPKC Stadium. There's a big fence, but I wanted to get over it and get a wide shot. Look at all the stuff they're doing outside. Outside, the construction projects going on. on the current landing deal, and inside the construction projects is going on the soccer team. And it took me 2 or 3 minutes to get up onto because I wasn't able to step up there. And it just pointed out I couldn't guard a 90-year-old man or a 90-year-old woman in basketball. I couldn't. I am that slow.
That's fair. That's fair. But I have to believe that KU wins this. We know they've struggled a little bit on the road this year. But with Texas Tech losing last night and then JT Toppin tearing his ACL, which just sucks for college basketball, and the Big 12 tournament coming to Kansas City and fans wanting to come out for that. So that stinks. Preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, reigning Big 12 Player of the Year. So that stinks. But KU does now have this big leg up over Texas Tech going forward in the standings of the Big 12. Obviously, Iowa State and Arizona are 1 win ahead of KU. Houston 2 wins. KU hosts Houston next Monday. You have to believe that KU pulls out and wins that game.
I don't know.
It'll be close, but Bill Self doesn't lose on Big Monday at home.
Houston throttles people. They win the way Bill Self's best teams win. They strangle your offense until you are unable to score enough points to be able to win.
But they're at home.
And they have had a great – I don't think have they lost to Kansas since Houston came back to the league? I don't think so. Now, one of them was a game at Allen Fieldhouse where Kansas was up 6 with like 1/10 of a second to play or something, and they somehow blew the lead. I make that up. I mean, they had a big lead, and they somehow blew it. But then
overtime.
Houston's good.
No, Houston is good.
But Houston's got this gauntlet. They got like 3 games in a row or 3 out of 4 that are just monstrous. And you know this league is backloaded everything. Early on, everybody's building up their records because they're playing pretty inferior competition. Then all of a sudden, boom, all the goods are playing the goods, and it got real interesting really fast. And suddenly, Kansas is down there 3 games out or whatever, and they have just risen to the top. I think Kansas is the team to beat, and if it's not them, I think it's Houston.
Yeah, they're for sure the best 2 in my opinion in this league. I mean,
who do you hate in this league, by the way? Who do you hate? Iowa State?
I don't hate anyone.
You don't hate?
I don't care.
A good league, you have teams you hate.
But I'm not a fan of any of these teams.
Who did you hate in the ACC when you were going to school?
We were in the Big 10.
Oh, that's right. So you never got to care. No,
and we really kind of only hated. I mean,
well, who are you going to hate? Rutgers?
We hated Michigan because when I went to school, Michigan had Hunter Dickinson, who is from the D.C. area.
Now, I know that name. How do I know that?
And basically was very big about getting into it with fans because he didn't like Maryland because Mark Turgeon apparently didn't really recruit him, and he held that against him. That was the rumor mill, at least, in the Maryland scene. So there was always kind of that. So we didn't like Michigan. We kind of had beef with Michigan State, and then.
Did they even know who you guys were? I mean, either of them know who Maryland was.
Not this year, but we are a basketball school.
Yeah, but I mean, really.
We beat them plenty of times.
Oh, that's good.
We won a Big Ten championship when I went to school there.
I didn't know that. They won a national championship when I covered them 02.
Was the head coach.
Were you alive in 02?
I was 2.
Okay.
Yep. Well, actually, I was 1 when they won it because it was played in 01, 02. So yeah.
So you weren't doing FanDuel yet?
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to believe that KU wins this game tonight simply because they have to, and then Mizzou game is going to be really good because Vanderbilt is a really good team this year, both men's and women's basketball, which you don't always see in Power 4 nowadays, both being dominant, but they are.
I just talked to Gabe. Gabe keeps track of all this stuff because he has nothing better to do. He said that Mizzou is kind of in the spot where they need to win this game.
Yeah.
It's not must win because you can always win the tournament. But he said they need to win this game. This is a game they need to win. They play another game at Arkansas. I think they play at OU. Oklahoma's horrible. And this time of year, if you want to impress the selection committee, you need to play good competition. You get no credit for beating bad teams. So Mizzou has an opportunity tonight against a good Vanderbilt team to beat them.
Yeah, we will see what happens. You know, we're going to have highlights at 10 tonight.
We are?
Of both games.
Are you working?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Right? I'm here all day.
Now, why is the K-State game is like not even important. The only thing that was important was the post-game interview with Scott Drew.
Which we can talk about that.
And what did he say? I didn't hear it.
He actually said, which I think is a nod to what Tang said. Obviously, him and Scott Drew are great friends, and Scott Drew is very publicly not happy about what happened.
They worked together for
19 years.
Yes, they're like brothers.
Yeah, and so Scott Drew actually said, "I'm embarrassed for our fans," which is obviously, I think, a big nod to what Tang said. Like, look, you can say this, and you're not going to get fired for it. Yeah, and Matthew Driscoll obviously also took the podium, showed a lot of support for Tang.
I like what he said. I liked what he said. Didn't you think what he said was pretty strong?
Yeah, it was powerful, and I mean he was on the court for almost 2 hours before the game started, which maybe he's still just kind of keeping that associate head coach, I should say, mindset of, you know, he's not. He said multiple times, like, he's not happy about the position that he's in right now, but he is doing it because it's the right thing to do, et cetera, et cetera.
So what do you think is going to happen? I know you're not a lawyer, but what do you think?
Tang's getting money. Tang is probably going to get money.
Yeah,
in my lawyer opinion, after talking to lawyers,
he did embarrass the university in that he attracted negative attention. And you get beat like that, you just keep your mouth shut and just say, it's on me, moving forward.
Yeah.
He had to know he's going to get fired anyway.
I don't like what he said. Like,
you don't?
No. That night, I didn't like how he didn't also put any of the blame on himself or his staff. I just thought that it was so player focused. It was a terrible look.
The only thing I hated was he said, and some of these guys aren't going to, not very many of them are going to be wearing those uniforms next year. And
you pick these players.
Yeah, but if they're not, and I don't know, but if there's an effort problem, then, and he didn't bring up money, but he could have. You know, this isn't 5 years ago. This isn't 20 years ago. This is not the 1950s when you play for Old State U and we love EMA and this, give me the purple. These guys came here. They came here to play, I presumably play for him, but they also came for what?
NIL?
Money. And you're receiving money and you're not playing. I do think, whether you like it or not, I think the fans, it matters to the fans. And maybe they make too much of it, that these guys are getting paid, or these girls are getting paid, these women are getting paid, they should. I do think the least you could do is try hard. So
there has for sure been an effort issue when watching K-State basketball the last 2 months. Like, when you went to the,
you go to the, you did not go to the KU game because of the snowstorm.
Yeah.
And yeah, because they won't let us shoot. I mean, I'm not going to drive 2 hours over there just not to sit in the media room and watch the game on television and then shoot interviews. You can get that from not going over there. They are making it less and less. There's very little reason to go to any of these games anymore. I mean, Mizzou still allows you to shoot, so there's more of a reason to go there because you can actually shoot the game. You want to do a feature on assistant coach, you can zoom in on him.
Yeah, we can shoot K-State games, just not when they play KU because there's just too high of a demand.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Sure.
I've shot plenty back in my Topeka days. But yeah, so K-State starts the post-Jerome Tang era with a win. Obviously, Baylor is not very good this year, but still, it's the best we've seen them play in quite a while. PJ Haggerty and Nate Johnson both over 30 points.
All right, let's go down to the soccer. I'm going to do this real quick.
Casey Current Media Day, what happened?
They had Media Day today. The issues that they have, their best players coming back from an injury. If they have her 100%, they are the best, most dominant team in the NWSL. They proved it last year. If they lose her, they're not the same. But last year they lost 3 players to going into the playoffs. Not their best 2, but their best player and then one of their next 2 or 3 best players. Michelle Cooper coming back from it. So they had some issues. If they are healthy, then they are going to be a handful. We don't know yet if they're going to be 100% healthy. And they came out. It's just a gorgeous stadium. It's fun to be in there. It was a beautiful day. I could not believe it was February, and it was fun to be there. And look at what I'm wearing. It was great.
He's got the colors.
They gave them. I didn't eat it, but they offered the media pizza, which was pretty cool.
Aw,
and so they've got some new uniforms we weren't allowed to video. So there's some stuff going on that's kind of exciting. I don't know how you can improve on teal and red, but they usually try.
They're gonna
Teams do. So that's it. And then WNBA to Kansas City. What is that?
You haven't heard the big news?
No.
April 27th. It's a Monday night at 7 o'clock. T-Mobile Center is hosting the Minnesota Lynx, and they are taking on, I am forgetting the country. Let me look at the press release real quick. So many countries we're thinking about
So
lately.
this is an exhibition game.
This is a preseason game. Here we go. They are hosting the Nigerian women's national team. Those tickets go on sale on Friday. You have to believe that this is kind of a feeler to see how Kansas City reacts to just having WNBA basketball here to watch in person.
I think I have a bigger story today on basketball. Heard today from the horse's mouth, the soon to be the new head coach at UMKC,
Mr. Mark Turgeon, my close personal friend,
announced that they're going to move their games to Municipal Auditorium.
Really? I was hoping they'd do that.
There's some pluses and minuses. Parking's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But there are some real pluses. My question, and the reason I bring it up, if the WNBA came to Kansas City, would they play in the T-Mobile Center?
I would imagine
which
so.
is A+, great quality, but awfully big.
You can't put a pro team in Municipal, I don't think. I think it'd be kind of a
slap?
bad look and a slap in the face.
Yep, I don't disagree with you.
Like moving the women's Big 12 tournament from Municipal to T-Mobile was like too late of a move, but thank God it finally happened.
I agree. The players said it. When we would go in and interview players, I go, "What do you think about playing here?" And they're young, and they're like, "I don't really know the history. It's like playing in a really, really old, bad arena."
I've covered the MIAA tournament there for 3 years. It's not the nicest of places.
The locker rooms are terrible.
Yeah.
The lighting underneath is terrible. The bowl is okay, but everything else about it is substandard.
And the lighting is quite bad. You're right about that.
It's a slap in the face, but it's like Fenway Park. But you know what? I don't think 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds really care about, John Wooden won his first national championship here back in whatever year that was, 1963 or 64, whatever it is. I don't think they care. I think if they had fixed it up, truly made it first class all the way through it, it might have flown. It might have flown.
Yeah.
But
I hope they had some like UMKC decor type feel to it.
I've been there. I covered when they were good. They attracted pretty good crowds, but it was still the parking was so bad, and the students can't get over. I think they do have buses. I think they did have buses eventually that would run back and forth. So, but anyway, I thought that was very interesting that UMKC is going to move back because let's face it, Swinney Gymnasium is like what? It's like going to. It's worse than high school in some cases.
I actually haven't been there, and I've heard what everyone says about it, so I'm excited to experience it for the first time.
You have 25 seconds to say whatever you want to say. Say it. 20 seconds.
Watch.
What do you got on at 6? Coming up at 6.
We got some stuff from the KC Current Media Day.
10 seconds.
And then we're going to talk about the Big 12 standings and stuff about that. So tune in at 6. Bye.